Welcome to Viewpoint. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our guest. Well, I'm a host. Yeah. Okay, so this is Viewpoint, and yes, Viewpoint is powered by Glimpse Extra Media. Woo woo! Glimpse Extra, we celebrate you. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. Okay, so our topic today is forgiveness and reconciliation. Wow, huge topic. Forgiveness and reconciliation. And we're pretty sure that we're all gonna we're all gonna learn something today. Everyone is gonna learn something today. And so what we do here is as it's called viewpoint. So we're all going to air our opinions. You're free to type. You're free to air your opinion as well. This is where you just give your own view to the topic. All right. So we're going to go into it. Forgiveness, reconciliation. So we would want to talk about what forgiveness is and what reconciliation is, and we're going to talk about the difference. And there's this phrase, forgive and forget. What do you understand by that? What do we understand by it? What do we think it is? And what do we think it is not? Yeah. And yeah, so mostly forgiveness, reconciliation. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so here with me today, I'm the host of the show. Adeshola is my name. And I have with me, just say your name as I just point to you.
Lady.
Laide is on the show.
Aki Akani.
Mr. Aki Akani.
Justice.
Justice. And
Odun.
Odun. So Odun is not.
Why did you put Mr. on it?
Okay, sorry.
Just
I was about to do Sister Laide, but I just not like
I was just checking.
Okay. Anyway, so let me go back to that. Odun usually is a host of the show of these viewpoints, but I'm here today to host the show. I'm honored as she requested that I should host this show today. So Odun is going to talk today, but not as usual. But she's going to give her opinion about reconciliation and forgiveness. All right, so let's go into this. Forgiveness. Yeah, this is huge. Okay, so what do we understand by forgiveness? What does forgiveness mean? Let's go into that first. And I'm going to start, they say ladies first. And ladies can pass, but no, you can't pass anyways. So do not pass it. Let's start from Laide. So what is forgiveness? Did we agree? Okay. I'm just trying to have mercy on Odun. So I should feed me after the show.
Let's hear her today.
Okay, she's passing.
Yes, put her on the spotlight.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you guys I'm here to observe and to learn. So I'm sitting here today to hear them talk. Okay?
Yeah.
So if they push it to me, I'll push it back to them. Because like today is my
We're not pushing you.
Today's my no talking day.
Oh, it's your talking day because you're here, you're sitting here. So what's excuse you, you're talking. Okay.
Forgiveness is letting go of the odds, of the anger, of basically for me, I'll say it's just letting go of the odds. Now, if I let go of that odds and the anger, that is me forgiving you, for me. Now, when we go to the other part of reconciliation, that's a different thing entirely. But when I let go of you, if you do something that really hurts me and I said, okay, I'm letting go, I'm not hurt anymore. Once I'm not hurt anymore, that means I have forgiven you. So that's me.
So that's Odun's opinion. Forgiveness is letting go of the hurt, of the anger, right?
Yep.
Main point. Awesome. So let's go to Akin. What's forgiveness to you?
So, I don't even know where to start. So forgiveness for me is a process, right? It's the recognizing that where I am emotionally as it
Uh-huh.
relates to how I feel about, either a particular incident or a situation that happened. And then also, you know, willing to deal with it personally. So I think after I've internalized it and
Okay.
ready to just let go, I think that's where the forgiving process starts. So, because sometimes I think we make forgive sound so easy as if we just flip a switch
Yeah.
and then, oh yeah, forgiving you, yeah, let's move on. But for me, it's a process, and depending on the level of hurt, it might take a day, it might take 2 days, it might take 2 months, and sometimes it might be immediate. It just really depends on the level of hurt.
Okay, so I like the word you use. It depends on the level of hurt. So it's there's this word you just used now with a P.
With what?
No, the word you used for forgiveness just now. It's
Emotional process,
emotional process of
letting go,
letting go,
depending on the
level of hurt. Thank you, Saki. Okay, so let's go to justice. What's forgiveness?
Yeah, Rakim, I'm not trying to sound so intellectual, but
Awesome.
But
We
the
don't
act-
have to.
yeah, but the act of forgiving is just letting it go. Like either it can be anything. It can be emotional. It can be, it can be what somebody did and you think you can't deal with it at that particular moment. But letting it go is act of forgiving the person. Being like, okay, I've forgiven you. I'll let it go. That's it.
Okay, awesome. Wow, great points. And to me, I'll come. Slide it directly to you. No,
Should be hurt.
no. Oh, yeah, so what's forgiveness?
Well, forgiveness for me also, it's like they've all said, letting go of the hurt. So someone's done something to, that you felt emotional about, and getting to the point where you don't feel like you need to retaliate against the person anymore. You're not looking out for the person to get hurt in return. You've been able to let go, and maybe then you've also at the point where it doesn't hurt as much anymore. Also, you've been able to just take out the sting, from that hurt, and you're able to move on. I'd say.
Wow.
I say that's
It's
when
not-
forgiveness is complete.
Yes, that's so. You
Yeah,
said it's a
not-
process,
It's
and
a
I
process.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So you
moving
start
on, when
moving
it's
on.
complete.
Yeah.
But for me, letting go of it is me. But usually, when I'm out, I really don't talk. When I'm out, I don't talk. But once I start talking to you,
Yeah, I've started the process.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
to some, it's so hard to. It's hard to let go, just like that.
Mhm.
And you haven't forgiven.
And I
Yeah,
like the
forgiven
point
if
she
you
made.
don't
She
let
made
go
a point
actually.
like, it's like that point at which you pray for that person. You don't want the person to get hurt.
Hurt in return.
Then
That's
in
when you
return,
have
thank
truly
you.
okay,
forgiven
can I
the
ask?
person.
Can you, if you don't wish someone bad or wish someone something evil, does that mean you've not forgiven the person?
If you don't wish,
you do,
no.
you
Yes,
don't.
Or
because
if
you
you
said
do,
when you start
I-
to pray for the person,
Mhm.
right? So if I don't pray for you, but I really don't wish you anything bad, does that mean I'm still holding something? Does that mean I've not forgiven
It
you?
boils
No,
down to
it's not. You said you don't wish the person bad.
Yes.
She said
So
retaliation,
I
right?
kind of understand what
Exactly.
Yeah,
because I kind of
She said
understand what
pray.
you're
When
saying
you said when
because
I use the word, when you said when I pray for you, that means I've forgiven you,
And that's second.
right?
That's that's the second
Like,
level.
praying is
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I'll let justice go.
I'm trying to say something here. We're trying to talk about the word forgive.
Forgiveness,
We're not trying
yeah.
to talk about. I'm not trying to sound so intellectual, but we're not talking about the process of forgiving. I guess that's
Talking
where
about what it
that's
is.
where we're getting mixed up. We're talking about what is forgiveness. It's the act of letting what someone did to you go.
Go, okay.
Not wishing that person anything bad or just letting it go.
Just let go.
Yeah.
That's forgiveness.
As simple as
Okay, so I'll go to I'll still come back to that, letting it go, and we'll move on from that forgiveness. So let's go to reconciliation. Reconciliation.
Yeah, like
I'll
Brad,
start.
like Bracken said, to reconcile with somebody is it's a two-way thing. Like it's not, you can't do it by yourself. So reconciling is the act of meeting the person who he or she did what was wrong, and you guys are ready to like move on from there. Like I guess that's when the process of
Okay, so in essence, reconciliation is that mutual. Is mutual,
yeah.
right?
It takes two.
It takes two.
Two parties.
Okay, and that takes me to
Does reconciliation actually takes two?
Yeah.
It takes two.
Okay, let me cite an example.
Mhm.
Right. There was someone I had an issue with. She was actually my assistant when I was in Nigeria. We had, you know about it, we had this big issue. And for years, she was coming. She kept coming, but I wasn't receiving it. So she was ready to reconcile. She wanted reconciliation, but I wasn't ready for it. I don't want it.
Then it didn't
Right,
take
yes.
place.
Then,
Yeah, it didn't take
then
place.
there was no
So
reconciliation.
there was no exactly.
So
Until
it takes
That's why it
two.
takes two
It
people.
takes two.
It takes two.
So she could have said, well, I attempted to reconcile. Guess what? We reconciled, whether she accepted or not.
Yeah.
But you didn't take it. So you didn't reconcile.
Yeah. I've heard this word. You can reconcile, but no association.
Yeah.
Let's think of that. Reconciliation,
that's still not
no
reconciliation.
association. No, there's reconciliation, but no association.
Okay, maybe we should
You
define
reconcile
reconciliation.
exactly. So what's reconciliation to us? Like
Let's
he
define
says, it takes two. That's what reconciliation does, or what it takes to reconcile. But what's reconciliation?
So to me, the process of reconciliation is coming together and outlining or defining how you move forward in your relationship based on whatever happened, right? While you're reconciling. So, I mean, again, it always depends on the level of hurt. So if it's a situation where, let's use an affair for an example, and you do decide to forgive, which it starts there, and then you decide the process of reconciliation. What does reconciliation looks like? So if it was a situation where a guy was used to coming home at 2 a.m. before there was an affair, maybe reconciliation guideline goes 10 o'clock
You're
curfew,
home. Yeah.
right? So you necessarily. But sometimes we think of reconciliation takes us back to how things were before. I personally, I don't think so. I think it's agreeing on how things will be going forward in this relationship.
I'll chip in on that. That's very good. Reconciliation is, you sitting together. You don't even have to sit there. I don't want to use the word sit. Yeah, you guys got it. You're coming together to to table whatever happened, because in the process of forgiveness, actually, you need to know, you need to understand and know what you did, what happened between you two, because in where there is hurt and anger and all that, there's always assumption is not. We can't take assumption out of it, because you could assume that this person did this person did that, and it might not be the case. So in the process of reconciliation, you still have to come together, table those things. Oh, what did you do? What did I do? Well, and that way you know your boundaries with the person. So that's taking me back to reconciliation and association. You can reconcile, but that association,
Let me chip in a little thing, because while we started talking, then it occurred to me that I think reconciliation happens when both parties felt hurt. So forgiveness usually is a one-way thing, because one person was hurt and the other person was the one that inflicted the hurt. So you forgive the person that inflicted that hurt. But in a case where both parties felt hurt, like you did something to me, I did something to you, then there can be mutual forgiveness, which can now lead to a reconciliation. Okay, this is what I need for this association or relationship to keep going forward. This is what you need. Then we come together and decide, okay, what works best for us to work as a relationship. Because I'm thinking in terms of, okay, when you talk about parties or groups of people reconciling, usually it's because everybody feel like they have, something at stake, something they want to protect, something they want to, fight for and defend going forward. So it's just another part to it. It's not a summary of everything reconciliation is.
Reconciliation and still coming together again, and we think things will just go back to normal. It's hard.
It is.
So the question is, if it does not go back to normal, so what suppose that's what is that a
If there's no
reconciliation?
reconciliation.
Except normal
There's
was working.
reconciliation, but not the
That's-
association is
Okay,
not
that's what I
there.
was trying to say because you guys said moving forward. Like if we reconcile, it means we're gonna reconcile from there moving forward. Like we're gonna throw all the whole aspects of what used to happen. It depends on what used to go on. That's what
Okay,
I'm trying to say.
so that leads me to forgive and forget. Because yeah, a lot of things are popping. Okay, there's this.
Take
I
notes.
just got like something about second chance, reconciliation, second chance, and that second chance, the second chance will lead to third chance. Do you understand? Like that might be repetition. 70 times 7. That God has that that position.
He
So that the
charged
God of
us.
second
He
chance.
charged
He
us
didn't
to
say
forgive 70
the
times,
acting of
7
second
times in
chance.
a day, one day.
I actually
That is good.
forgiveness.
Exactly. God holds that position of second chance.
One day, not even your
Depends
lifetime.
on the gravity of the what I call
Hurts.
offense.
I don't
Yeah,
think
the level.
forgiveness should depend on gravity.
Yeah,
Forgiveness is
yes.
for you.
No, the
True.
process.
So have that
True. The
emotional
Forgiveness
release.
is for you.
You
But
know?
I'm thinking in the line of this: forgive second time, third time, fourth time.
Mhm.
But if someone just did something that is not that grievous, and you forgive and you start counting, I've forgiven you once, and then maybe the second one time was more, and then I've forgiven you. Or I'm thinking in the line of how actually do you count it that this is 1, 2, 3, 4? Does it depend on maybe you just doing like this, or does it depend on you cheating on me, or you cheated once, or you cheated twice, or you cheated with 2 women or 1 person? Or I'm trying to think.
So personally, this is where I think we usually get it wrong, right? So we look at activities
Yeah.
as a count rather than, I guess, the emotions, right? Trust is trust.
Exactly.
Whether you steal my meat, whether you
Exactly.
crash my car,
Yeah.
how you betray my
My
trust
Yeah.
may be different. So I can't be counting, oh, you bash my car once, you bash my car 2, you bash my car 3. It's just trust. Whether it's by bashing my car, stealing my meat, or stealing my money. You know. So again, it depends on you. How much can you take?
take?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like how much can you
Personality
take?
sets
The
in
second
there.
Right.
chance thing.
What I can take, you might not
Yeah.
be
So
able
yeah,
to.
because that's what I was trying to say. Because like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter whether you steal my, like he said, whether you steal my meat or anything can get you emotional. Like somebody can get mad at you just of the way you talk to the person. That's something if you want to count that every day, I don't think.
That's where personality sets in.
Yeah, it's an
Because we're
individual
different.
thing.
Everybody's different. So it depends on your level of tolerance.
And I think level of relationship.
It's
too,
a
Yeah,
relationship,
right?
and then that's what the gravity of what you do
Yeah.
will determine if I'm going to forgive you multiple times. If you just think that okay, I've been
Taking
doing
it for
this thing,
granted.
yes, but then you now decide to now do something more, something that is. I don't want to use the word.
The thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna agree with that because it's some people who like you can just talk to them some type of way and they don't feel like.
Yeah,
they
gravity is
Yeah.
relative.
Yes, I am. Yeah, it's
relative.
relative. But then the relationship, like he said, comes into play. There are some things that you will do that will ignore. Do you understand? There are some things that I don't want to mention names. Some other people will do, and I'll take it up with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you understand? Because of the relationship.
Mhm.
Now, someone might now say you were not angry with her, and she did it.
You
So
can
why
compare
you?
now.
So now
That
if
even
person-
lets you know where you stand from a relationship
You know your
standpoint.
position with
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
exactly.
So let's complicate it, right? So in my own opinion, like I'm thinking, I hope my kids are not listening. Like there's nothing they can do that I won't be able to find a place to forgive them, right?
Yes, exactly.
You know, so can an outsider now go?
And do it.
Of course, definitely not. So I think that's where the level of relationship
Okay, so
comes in.
we have our viewers, checking in and giving their own views. Please go ahead and give your view. Sheyele says reconciliation is restoring a friendship or a relationship after a major disappointment. Okay.
That's where the association you were
Comes
looking
in,
from
yeah.
comes in.
Yeah.
So they go hand
But
in
okay,
hand.
let me give cite an example. If a dog bites me, and the dog bites me, of course, and that dog now comes back for me to pet.
Mhm.
Where is the reconciliation in that?
Because
Abi, is that a situation? Will I now pet the dog again? Go to her bite me.
you don't have
So
to.
that's.
But
So-
you could.
Hmm?
You could.
I could,
Yeah.
but
That's where
am I
the-
gonna be careful?
Yeah, so that's the
If
reconciliation,
you, talk,
right?
if you talk to a dog owner, they'll tell you no, they're going to come back and embrace the dog. It's
Okay,
It's
so
how-
what
again,
if
it's
I,
how
I
you
have
see
a
dogs.
relationship with the dog?
I think
The dog bites me.
Mhm.
This is where love sets in. The dog bites me, and the dog now comes back.
I want
Again.
it still. I want
like,
you to pet
I want
it.
you to
Yeah.
pet me. Will I be careful to pet the dog?
It's up to you.
It's up to you.
It's a choice.
Yes.
So which is forgiveness a choice or reconciliation a choice?
They're both.
They're both a choice.
They're both
They are both
choices.
a choice.
Forgiveness is a choice.
Forgiveness.
But what does
okay,
the Bible say
if
about
you,
forgiveness?
okay, if that's the angle you are going to, if you are going to apply the word of God to it,
Mm-hmm.
apparently God Himself knows that you can be hurt. God Himself knows that you will need to forgive, which is why the Bible said, "Do not let the sun go down on your anger." But how many of us will actually not let the sun go down on our anger?
Even went further than saying don't let the sun go. He said if you've come to present a sacrifice and you remember that
Go
someone has
back
hurt
and
you, you have to
sort it
go
out.
back to the person.
Yes.
You now have to take the initiative.
So then
To
forgiveness
reconcile with the
is
person.
not,
That's
as a
actually where I'm
Christian,
going. That's
forgiveness is
where I'm
not
still going.
it's not an option, it's a requirement.
It's a
It's a
yes. I
requirement.
thought we were
God
going. I
did
thought
the
we were
choice.
going.
I agree with
God
everyone.
He still gives
Forgiveness
us
is a
choices.
choice. Yes.
We still make that choices on our own. Even though it is a requirement, we still need to make that choice on our own.
Choose you this
For-
day.
yes,
No, definitely.
Yes,
Forgiveness is a choice. You
Yeah.
know, I know forgiveness is a choice.
it is a choice. It's a requirement by
So-
God.
so
And
I'm-
still a
I'm-
choice.
Again,
so what's the
forgiveness-
difference?
Forgiveness is for you.
You.
It's not for the person
Not
that
for your
hurt you.
forgiving,
So I'm still
yeah.
trying to understand why will you decide to choose if it's for you.
people do.
Even looking at it
That's
from
what I'm saying.
even looking at it from a
You also
biblical
to
standpoint,
the
right? You are the
anger.
one
So we're getting
presenting.
points here.
So
we're
You are
getting
the one.
points here.
Hang on,
And
justice, right?
let
You are the
me
one
just-
presenting an offering to God. It ain't the person that hurt you,
Right.
and the word says,
You go
if
back.
you remember, you go back.
Yeah.
It's for you.
It didn't even say if you've hurt someone. It said if
If
someone
it
has
hurt
hurt you,
exactly.
you go back.
It's
Yeah.
for you to be free from that.
It's for you,
But that's
yes.
very that's very
Bondage.
that's very theoretical. We can all say, oh yeah, that's what's required. But when
It's not easy.
Yeah, it
things get real, do you actually do that?
I think there's a
not
level
easy.
of
How
understanding.
many
Justice
times
will-
would someone hurt you in church and you just looked at the person and like, okay, I'll just keep you where you are.
Stay in the
And then
Christmas.
you're giving your offering and praise. Do you come back to the person and say, "Oh, sister or brother,
did this,
you
you
did
did
something
that."
that I didn't like, and I want to let
not
you know
easy.
so I can forgive you." And the person's looking at you like,
And sometimes you're
You
careful,
get
like, what? How will this be
That
done?
situation, they didn't even know they hurt you.
exactly.
So,
I just
from
sensitive.
all the points, forgiveness is freeing yourself, is for yourself, is a choice, right? And it's letting go of your hurt, anger,
Pain.
of whatever, whatever does not make you happy, right? Forgiveness.
Just to
Okay,
help our
Justice
viewers,
was
I'm
gonna-
turning it over to just to help our viewers, it's a process. It's not a switch. Because
Yeah,
again,
it's not.
because sometimes you feel like, oh, I've forgiven that person. As long as that situation or that person still triggers something,
Some
whether you
emotion,
see them, you
yeah.
hear something, you hear their voice or whatever, you have not fully forgiven. It's a
Okay.
process.
Thank you so
Justice.
much, sir.
One thing I will try to put it this way is like the only way. I mean, when you forgive somebody, right? When you say you're forgiving somebody, like Brakim says, it's a requirement by us as Christians to forgive. So I'm saying, can we as Christians, can we beat that? Do you have to take it to be something you want to do or something required from God for you to do? Because we are making it to seem like, because if
Like it's a commandment.
yeah,
Is that
like
what
if
you're
we're
saying?
all if we're all Christians, I believe if somebody do something to you, you just have to forgive. But now reconciliation for me is, I think is the relationship. If it's worth the relationship, then you can reconcile. So I don't
I
think
say if
that's
it's worth your peace of mind.
Yeah.
yeah.
If
I
it's
think
worth
if it's
your
worth your
peace,
peace of mind.
and if it's worth your sanity,
Yes.
because you might reconcile and you get hurt again, like you might get in trouble.
Right.
You might get in trouble
Some
with
people
that
are
reconciliation.
This
serial.
reconciliation
Yeah.
has killed people.
Yeah.
Sorry, before we move on, okay, we have some points here Someone, I would not say someone. Okay, Bracken, the other time said, I hope my kids are not listening. So, Nikki Tosh says they are listening. Oh, the kids are listening. So, Sheyi Alex also says, you can forgive and not reconcile with the person. You can reconcile if the relationship
It's worth it, yeah.
is worth keeping.
Mm-hmm.
You can reconcile. Then he also says some you forgive and move on with your life. Sometimes you forgive and move on with your life. Maybe that's what you meant. Then Sheyi Alex, you are really contributing. Awesome. You don't have to reconcile with anyone, but you need to forgive for your own sake. Like we said, it's for your good, it's for your freedom, it's for your peace of mind.
Yeah.
And so let's
the only
move on.
bridge.
Let's move on. There's this
I
question
want
of
to chip in something
Okay.
about the relationship part and the reconciliation. Personally, I am someone that I treasure relationships, and so I don't throw relationships away lightly. And then maybe because I have a very small circle, my inner circle are extremely. I took time to select those that come into my inner
for a
circle.
reason. People,
Yes,
people that cherish
exactly.
relationships are
Yes.
like that.
And
And
so
they
when
get
I
hurt.
bring you in
Yeah.
and you hurt me, most of the time my first instinct is to cut you off. Like cut you off totally.
takes time.
But I'm just going to say that the Holy Spirit actually plays a role in forgiveness. Because over time, He has taught me and upped me to be this person that just say, you know what, stay on your own, just go. Like I don't want to deal with you again. And so every time I get like a lot of inner discussion with my inner self, like, why do you want to throw this relationship away because of this? What is the benefits of this relationship? Is it that bad? As in, I weigh the pros and the cons.
Exactly.
And then if I can get to a place that I see that, okay, it's just this thing, and I can walk over it, then I can initiate reconciliation. Most of the time, I do not reconcile. I don't. But over time, with the help of the Holy Spirit, I've been able to get to a place where I'm like, okay, I don't want to throw this. Even though my inner circle is small, I still don't mind throwing it away. I'm talking about the sanity and whatever.
Yeah, for me.
Yes,
to
I just
be okay.
to be okay. And then, like I said, I do not talk. I will not talk. I'll just be looking at you. I'm not going to push you away, but you will just know you're not there anymore. But
But
over
you have
time,
peace. That's where the Holy Spirit
okay, you
comes
see
in.
that's where the Holy Spirit comes in, and then when I'm able to talk to you about it, I'm over it.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
over it.
Let me go to that point.
So
So-
hold on one second. I like what I think Brad Kim mentioned that earlier. I feel like forgiveness is for your own peace. So if it's gonna be for my own peace, and what she said, I'm not refusing, but I think it's personal. Because for me, if you do something, if you make me angry, or if I feel like you did something to me, I will forgive you. But that doesn't mean I will not. I don't think I take a long time to say, okay, that's fine with me, to say I've forgiven you. Like that's me, because I don't wish anything bad for anybody anyways.
Okay.
So
Awesome. So this personality thing is still we can't take it away. We can't take it out of this forgiveness thing, because okay, me, as for me, like she referred to it, I would not talk. I'll keep it until I forgiveness might not take place until I talk. You know, for you, well, once I say immediately I want to let go and all that. So that's personality, and that's I just feel like God sees us the way we are, and He understands. You know, for that person, maybe my type of my personality, I would not talk as well, but I want to talk. I want to deal with it immediately. If I don't deal with it immediately, it begins to build, and
let me
Of course, I'm cutting off.
Let me divert a little bit, please.
yeah.
So I don't understand when you say God understands. Like I don't think that is right to me, because if that's like a requirement. If something happened, the Bible says, as Christians, I'm putting that as Christian. The Bible says just go ahead and forgive them. That's where emulating Christ.
That's not going against you doing what God wants you to do, not
So-
making that choice.
okay, so-
When I said God understand, I meant God sees you the way you are. He knows you. He created you. So he understands if you go to him honestly, like, Lord, I need the grace. And that's what Odun was talking about. You know, the other level of you, like, you know, calling the other person, like, okay, talking about it, that's grace. That's grace. You know, grace is that thing that you know that you would ordinarily not do. So it's different from, oh, you now taking that the step to, you know, go into the process of forgiveness. So God understands me. God knows you for who you are. He knows when you go to him like, God, oh, Daddy, this is not easy. But man, I will do what you want me to do. This is not easy. It's taking time. Oh, Daddy, please forgive me, but I'm trying. But
I'm sorry.
okay, does anybody have
We're gonna
anything
sleep
to
while
say
you're
to
talking
that?
about that. I'm not gonna lie, because you can't keep telling me God understands. Because
Okay, just a
Ah.
I think what she,
No,
I
he
think what
knows
she
you.
meant, I
He
think what
knows
she
you.
meant by that is the process, right? So you being immediate with forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
God sees you for that. Me taking me
Making
5
my time.
hours to be able to come to that
God will
place.
not cut my head.
God sees me for that. He knows me for that, and He understands.
and you know, even
and
people who don't
accepts me
forgive,
for
God still understands.
Yes, true.
that
Yeah,
one too.
He does.
But again,
He
forgiveness is not for God; it's for you.
It-
Yeah, you want to carry
exactly.
that burden. You know.
Yeah, but
So
biblically, if you don't forgive, I think your offerings will not be
it's still you now.
Yes, the one
It's still you.
Yeah, it's you.
It's still
So
on you.
let's talk about forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. So is it?
I don't know where that thing came from.
I don't know. myself.
Okay.
It takes
okay,
a
to
special
me,
kind
let
of
me
grace
start with
to-
it. That
Takes
forget.
Alzheimer's.
That forget part.
I know, right? Or some memory swipe.
I mean,
Yeah,
like,
there's this question here that what's that question of forgive and forget? Oh, no, where is it now? Oh, okay. Well, she did ask the question, but forgive and forget. Forgetting,
I think it's a
I feel like
I think it don't
forgetting is, so that means your memory, you're losing your memories.
pretty much.
work. Pretty much.
So is it does it work like for you to forgive and forget?
I don't think that works.
I
The
don't,
only-
I
the
don't
only
think
thing
that
I
was
can-
the intention
The
when
only thing I
that
can
phrase came
point
out.
out of
Quickly
it
say,
is,
oh,
Maybe it's to say
forgive and
forgive and move
forgotten.
on.
I think it's
Forgive and
like
reconcile.
forgive,
Forgive and-
like forget.
Probably so.
Haven't you heard that phrase?
I've heard
Forgive
it,
and
right?
forget.
It's like
say
forgive,
it
like
forget,
forget.
yeah.
Like
That's gonna
now,
work.
and you say
I
forgive
think
and
it's actually
forget.
forgive and forget.
I know it's
think
forgive and
the
forget.
intention
Could make sense.
and reconciliation.
Exactly. Just
It's-
let's
it's
forgive
not
and
forget.
move
Not
on.
forget is not
It's
it's not.
reconciliation.
But I
I
can't
can't
forget.
forget.
Even
A
as
dog
part of
that just beat me and the dog not coming back.
Let's
I'm
leave
not
it
betting
there.
the dog.
Let's
But
leave
I'm
it
not- No, I'm actually.
let's leave the dog
Can you
bites.
forget or can you not forget?
Let's stay on
It's
the dog
different
bites. Let's stay on
from-
the dog bites, right?
Yeah, the dog bite is relatable
The
actually.
scar
You can
will be
relate
there.
it to
So if
human
you have
beings.
that scar,
the
right? You are
emotional
carrying that
scar.
scar.
Thank you,
But
bro.
How
when
do you
you
forget?
see people that
Timori.
actually are dog parents, they talk about their dogs like we talk about our kids. So for them, it's easy to forgive. I saw someone put it on next door that the cat scratched, beat, he had blood all over him, and they were still.
me
That's what I'm
using
saying,
dog
forget
as an
is not-
example. Please relate that dog to human being,
Okay.
to you and I.
You just didn't want to
If
use
you
like
bite me, I don't want to
If
use.
you
I'm
relate
buying you- I'm
bite
buying-
me.
I'm buying you a dog for
There are
Christmas.
people, there are couples that are still
the
married
Rottweiler.
and they've cheated on each other multiple times, and they are still married. They still
They
get
reconcile.
together. They reconcile.
You
So if
forgive
we keep-
every day in
exactly.
marriage, now.
Even if we keep talking about it, a dog biting you that you are in a relationship, you are married, and your spouse keep cheating on you
And
over
you're
and
still
over.
there.
Personally, to me, once you cheat, you are taking a part of me in bits and pieces. So that's like you biting me as a dog. Correct?
Yeah.
So now that still applies to
We're gonna do a video of me
if a dog bites you
I'll be like,
and you have the scar, can you forget the scar?
No.
If
I still have
exactly.
my own dog.
No, I'm saying that the intention behind the forgetting is reconciliation.
It's
That's the
reconciliation.
intention
You can't
behind
forget.
it. No,
You're
of
not
course,
gonna
I'm not
forget.
saying I
Let's
can't.
not rule that out. You
I'm
can't
just saying I'm
forget
going to
the-
play the devil's
Okay.
And I
advocate.
think, sorry to interrupt you, I think where that forget comes in, again, I'm just speculating, is saying don't keep recounting. Like when the person does it again, you now say, remember 2 years ago you did the same thing, 2 weeks ago you did. I think that's where that, not forget in sense of you don't remember the event. It's just don't keep
Okay,
bringing
so
it
that-
up.
Does
in
Does
the
it require
conversation.
being intentional?
It
Like
is very
forgetting?
intentional.
You have to be intentional.
Right.
Very.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because it's easy
awesome.
for you to, you know, this person is a serial, I don't know, offender in the particular situation. It's hard for you not to keep coming up with it and saying, you remember you did the same thing last week. 2 weeks ago, we talked about the same thing too. So,
I'm sticking with forgive like forget.
Me too. I'm
like
not,
forget.
I'm not gonna lie
What are you
because
I'm not even sure what that means.
I mean,
Like-
like basically, I'm forgiving you like I'm forgetting what happened.
That's like
But
Nigerian
I'm
slang.
not- but I'm not going to forget.
And I'm not going to
But I'm not going to
forgive
forget.
and
Yeah.
forget.
Let's just be
Where am I
realistic.
learning?
It's not shy.
for
easy.
me,
You can't forget.
being realistic, you cannot forget. I will not forget what happened.
You won't
But-
forget.
Why
It's
don't
just,
you just
you
say
just
you
don't
for-
talk
you
about
forgive,
No,
it.
like,
I'll
then-
forgive you.
then-
I'll forgive you like quick. I'll
Uh-huh.
forgive you like ASAP. But I'm not gonna forget what you did to me. But
So-
that doesn't mean I'm wishing you bad or something to happen to you. But I'm not gonna
Okay.
forget that
Let's,
incident.
so let's stay with the dog analogy, right? So
Okay.
dog,
Dogs are in
so
trouble.
dog bites you, right? You forgive.
I'm not gonna forget that one.
You say next time you hear dog bark, Seth. You never see
Every dog you
Like I would even say,
Does
like,
it.
I mean, just hear the dog bark. You look around
Yeah.
because you remember
Of
that
course.
experience.
It's still
God help us,
personal,
oh.
actually.
I-
It's still
I-
personal. Because the thing that I will sit and say I'll never talk to this person about, you do it to another
Right.
person and the person will be like, and just move on. It's still personal.
There's
Like
a
you
whole
said,
spectrum
yes,
of,
there are people
you know,
that dogs
forgiveness.
have beaten several times. There are people that cats have scratched and all that, and they still pull them in.
Yeah.
So it's still personal. There's not one size fits all when it comes to
Okay,
forgiveness.
so can we say?
Oh no.
can we-
No. I want to say something. We're not talking about forgiveness. We're talking about
Forgetting, yes, it's still the
Okay,
same
if
thing.
You can forget if it's not very serious.
Serious.
If it not mean so much to you. At the time it happened, you got hurt and you moved on. You can forget.
Forget.
You can't possibly remember everything everyone has done to you in your
Everyone has done to
lifetime.
you.
It's
Yeah.
not possible.
But if
But the ones that
if
hit you hard,
yes,
you
if-
won't forget.
If
It's the act of
issues
not still
happen,
it's the act of not still forgetting. Because if you say you forget, it means you forget everything. If to forget means you have to lose your memory. Actually, for me,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree
because
with
like,
that.
because if Sister Shola slaps me today,
Don't
Ow,
get that
ow.
chick.
you
you know, I'll tell the other chick that I'll forgive
I will
you.
slap it at her.
I'll forgive you. But anytime I see you, I'm gonna remember that slap because
Yeah.
there are
There you
teachers
go.
who taught us like for ages,
Yeah.
and you can remember the day he did something to you or he whooped you that you didn't like
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
The
So
children actually
don't.
don't forget. So
They don't.
if it's your teacher that spanked you, then you won't forget because everybody that got spanked.
But there are people that you fought with as kids that you
you
forgot.
feel exactly, but because you feel cheated as a way
Because you couldn't do anything in return and it hit you hard at
and
the
I can't
time.
actually do away with this person. So that
Okay,
will
so
stick.
quick question. So, does forgiveness come with reconciliation? Does it have to come with reconciliation?
Nope.
No.
No. So everybody's saying no.
Yeah.
No, but if
Viewers,
we are going to
if you
talk like
think
Christians,
is yes, please type.
I think I've had this conversation with Shola about there's this Apostle Selman. I don't know if you guys know Apostle Selman. And there was a day he was preaching and talking
Suleiman.
about Selman, not
Oh,
Suleiman.
Joshua
Joshua Selman.
I want
You need to start listening to him. So he was talking about this forgiveness thing, and he was very practical about it. He was a pastor. He is a pastor, and he said, "I don't practice what I'm going to say, but if I'm going to break forgiveness down, none of us is practicing it." Because he said, if you forgive and you don't reconcile, you're not forgiven.
I don't
Well,
That was what he said,
I-
and he actually
depends
backed
on the
it up.
definition of
See,
it.
it's a
It's all
personal
the type of
thing.
reconciliation.
He himself did not even say he's doing it. That's to tell you how difficult it is for us as Christians to attain a certain level. He said, I'm not doing it.
But that's
Biblically,
what
if
the
you are going
Bible
to, yes, he backed it up with Bible verses.
Yeah, but
If you don't reconcile, it's actually like,
you know.
So
This
you,
thing
you
did
can,
not happen.
I disagree with that. Reconciliation doesn't have to be immediate. So let's look at
No, no,
let's
no,
look
I'm
at
not
so
talking
let's
about
look
you
at
being
so let's look at the
No,
story
she's-
of Joseph.
She's just
right?
saying you have to reconcile.
Reconcile.
It comes
So
to reconciliation.
I don't think you
I'm
have
not
to.
talking-
Like so Joseph
I
and his
agree.
brothers. I think he forgave them.
There's so
Yeah.
many stories in the
Bible
Bible.
where-
That's what I'm saying.
Where
That's what I was trying to-
reconciliation did.
Yeah, I was-
Where reconciliation
Rakim,
didn't
I was
even
trying
happen.
to say because I disagree because like even without that incident you just made, or even without that example you just gave right
Joseph,
now about Joseph, the Bible is so broad.
Yeah,
Different preachers
different
preach these things in a
contexts
different way.
and
Because
different.
even when I come to church, it's something the pastor said one day, and I came back and I read it somewhere else, and it was different. Like preachers come up with different analogies, different stuffs going on. So I feel like what Sheyi Alex said is really important. If I'm gonna reconcile with you, it depends on the relationship.
Okay,
It depends if I
just
want to keep that
Let me
relationship.
ask you a question, right? You said it's the interpretation of the Bible.
Yeah.
Jesus is a perfect example. Did he forgive us?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Did he wipe our slate clean?
Yes.
Are we reconciled with him?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
The only way to make
So
it,
that
the only way
was-
to make heaven is by reconciling.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to go back to
We are
reconcile
not
with
saviors
to
to
make
other
heaven.
people.
Exactly.
You have to
reconcile
reconcile with them.
to myself. I'm
Yeah,
just telling you
so
that
that's-
if we are going to be real Christians, biblical, you kept saying the Bible. So if we are going to follow the Bible, that is the
But the
requirement.
Bible says we should flee from all appearances of evil.
What is define appearances of evil?
Be
Anything
careful.
that
Be
would
careful.
put you
Push
in
you into
trouble.
trouble.
Stay away. So maybe I didn't know the person well
No,
enough,
but
and
we
then I've
use-
seen
Nice.
the person,
Nice.
and I'm like, this is not good for
we
my.
take the part that suits us of the
Exactly.
Bible and
Goes
apply
back
it.
to
Eh,
justice.
that's what I just said. That's what you are coming back to my saying.
Example.
That's what I
is
just said.
Jesus. And he said, if Jesus forgave us, wipe our slate clean.
That's forgiveness.
That's forgiveness.
He has
And
forgiven
we
us. We
reconcile
have to
with
come
him.
to Him for reconciliation. If
Thank
we
you.
do
Was
not,
there reconciliation after the forgiveness?
not
The only thing I
That's
know
my-
is
my-
there
that's
cannot
the-
be
my question.
reconciliation
without forgiveness. But there
However,
can be forgiveness.
Must there be
So the question is,
reconciliation
which comes
after
first?
forgiveness?
Forgiveness
Forgiveness
comes
Forgiveness
first.
comes first.
And you
The
reconcile.
second
They
one
don't follow
is
each other.
the second
That's
one
two
is
separate
optional.
things.
Listen, reconciliation is not
It's optional, Abi.
we are taking it. It's optional. And that one I'll
Let me-
stick.
I'll let you
with.
finish. I'll
Yeah.
complicate this issue
It's
for you.
it's optional because
Please
if
don't.
me forgiving you is saying I don't wish you any bad. I'm okay. I'm done over it. I'll see you and greet you because some people feel like when they say reconcile, like it's not. I mean, I will see you and greet you and talk to you, but if I feel like going back there, it's not going to be healthy for me because the Bible says if your eyes causes you to sin,
Pocket
Well
of
done.
the-
so I don't go back there.
Like we're using scriptures tonight. Well,
You
like
can
you
use
said,
it to back
we
anything.
just use the part, that scripture that
Anyone
suits
that
us.
suits us at that point in
So
time.
let
let
Just
me
defend ourselves.
complicate
Ah,
let me
God help us.
complicate this reconciliation thing, right?
Okay.
So imagine I offend you. In the process, before you're able to get to the forgiveness part, anger kicks in. In the process of being angry, now you're displaying. I mean, I'm seeing a side of you that I've never seen before. So guess what? Now you forgive him. Now you
Right.
want to move towards
And
reconciliation.
I'm like,
And I'm like,
I don't agree.
Not that
nah,
bad.
stay where you
thank
are.
you.
Because you've unleashed,
it's
you've
just so
unleashed a
hard.
side of you that I don't
You
even
never
want to
anticipated
associate.
it. That's why it's a
That's why
two-way
it's a
thing.
two-way process.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
You can't
Yeah,
force
it's
it.
a two-way
Okay,
process.
okay, so let's make our points clear. So reconciliation first or forgiveness first?
Forgiveness
Forgive
first,
first, reconciliation follows.
if needed.
Oh my God, you're still going back to that.
It's
But
not,
she made a
it's
point
not
that
bad.
we all need to learn from, which is true.
By what?
Like that Jesus is
Besides Jesus, give me another example.
They said, no, but see, the truth of the matter
I'll
is
tell you why I
these
said
things are not easy to do. In
They
fact,
are not,
most
but
of
we
the
need
times
to-
we
we need
can,
to try.
but we need to, yes, to aspire. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I reconcile. I just said I cut off. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I cut off, pata totally. But over time, I don't know if it's out. Maybe as I got older, I've discovered that there are some relationships that I should have actually made an attempt
To
mend,
reconcile.
To reconcile, instead of me just saying it was a big deal. Like just, I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just saying, over
as we
time,
grow, we learn.
yes.
To you then,
Over
it was
time,
really
it was-
bad.
So for me,
but now it's not
reconciliation,
an issue.
I think the
reconciliation
relationship
maybe
would have
would
been
be
worth it if I didn't throw it away.
maybe
That's what
reconciliation
I'm
would be easier for me if forgive, right? So I forgive, and then maybe some form of apology.
Yeah.
So saying that acknowledgement,
of,
exactly. Actually,
okay.
I think it's more
And that's the
acknowledgement than
process of
apology. Right?
reconciliation.
I think
That's what
that
they say.
other person that did the hurt actually making an attempt, because to me that's validation that they
That was
cherish
yeah,
that
yeah,
relationship,
yeah.
right? That
And
relationship
God
actually
bless you.
means something
Thank
to
you.
them. Now, if
Thank
that
you.
doesn't happen, like, yeah, you
Yeah.
can forget
But you
it,
know, if
so
you want
forget
to go the
reconciliation.
biblical way, like you said, there is no requirement for the person to apologize.
Yes, true.
Yeah, you don't have to.
True. The
But that's
person
for
doesn't.
forgiveness.
You have to forgive the
Yeah,
person.
but I'm
anyway.
talking about
Reconciliation.
reconciliation.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Okay. So you.
I
need
can't
that-
reconcile with that acknowledgement. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm
so-
not
so-
sorry.
And hold on, Sister Adu made a statement.
I was going actually after what Sister Adu said
I
about
know.
reconciliation being a requirement as a Christian.
Sister Adu made it, she also made a
I
statement.
don't.
still
I
don't
don't
agree to
think
that.
Sister
so.
Adu, I'm not fighting you though.
So should be like
Why did
this.
you say that before?
I'm not,
Bring it
I'm not
on.
fighting you.
Bring it on.
But she made a statement. She
Bring it
said
on.
she said she regretted some relationships. She
That I threw away. Yes.
yeah, but I
It's not too
don't think reconciliation has a time limit.
I'm actually even looking for someone to
It's not
reconcile
too
with.
late.
I don't.
Okay,
I'm so
of
bad
course.
that once I cut you off, anything about you, I'm throwing it away.
Yeah, so I was just trying to make
So,
sure, like,
which
if
is
you
not
still need
Facebook.
that reconciliation,
As in
you can
every-
still do.
Go look
I
for
think-
them on Facebook.
Like on Facebook.
You don't know everybody that uses Facebook.
I don't. So
Exactly. So,
it's
and
okay.
people
I'm
call you
sure
friends
there's
and
somebody
help me
that
look for
knows
this
somebody
person,
that-
help me
Yeah,
look for
well,
this
that's
person.
seven.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Don't worry. At the end of this session, we'll help you look for the person.
Thank you.
We'll announce that.
Put their
Thank
names
you.
out
So,
there.
Justice,
Someone
you were
will
saying
do something.
something, right?
Oh, just
No, I was
looking for
just
you
trying
for
to
you.
make sure we get to a point
We
where
need
know
to
it's
make
not-
that point.
It's not a time, like reconciliation does not mean we have to do it immediately. Like there's no time limit.
Even
No, there's no
forgiveness,
time
there's no
limit.
time.
There's no time
There's no
limit.
time limit
Yeah,
on
but
forgiveness.
there's something.
Because you have to work through the process at
Yeah.
your own pace.
Okay, through the process,
then-
reconciliation, forgiveness. What if the person is dead?
Yeah, you want cool on it.
That's what.
Oh
what.
my God,
Okay, that's
back in-
You don't have reconciling.
that's what. I was-
You cannot share
Or
reconciliation.
you
what
can
I'm trying to
forgive.
say.
But
Because
forgiveness is one-sided. It's on you, whether they are dead or not. It's you.
That's you.
It's on you.
So-
Yeah.
Forgiveness does not have to come with reconciliation.
no.
So can you forgive
He's trying to
right?
sell this
I
product.
No, I'm trying to go
For
get
me-
back to Odu.
For me,
it has to.
for me, it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
It's individual. If I decide to reconcile with you, it's my thing. It
No,
doesn't
it's
mean
mutual. Reconciliation is
It's
mutual.
both.
No,
It takes
see,
two.
if I desire reconciliation,
Mhm.
that means I'm not the one that hurt you. You did. Right? Hold on now. If you said reconciliation comes when we are both hurt, right?
Not necessarily.
No, I said
No,
that's
no,
one
no.
part
That's
of
a
That's
part
one
of it.
part.
That's
of
one
it.
part.
The other part is I am hurt and you are not hurt, right?
Mhm.
And now you that you hurt me, like you said, there needs to be an acknowledgement of I did this wrong and I'm sorry. Abi?
That's the process of reconciliation.
Let's even leave the word process alone.
Mhm.
It's just for me. I can decide to reconcile with you.
Mhm.
It's me. That's why I'm saying reconciliation is a personal thing.
And you reconcile.
You cannot
with me,
outrightly
you
come
have
and
to-
tell me no, there should not be reconciliation. That's for you.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
I can still tell you.
You can't. You can tell me, but I might take it or not take it, right?
So,
And then
so what
there's
I'm
no
saying is,
reconciliation.
so again, reconciliation
No, I'm not
takes
easy.
two, right?
Yeah.
It takes two people to reconcile. The person that was hurt and the person that did the hurting. I think the person that was hurt holds the leverage for most part as it relates to reconciliation. But let's not forget, the person that did the hurting too, if they are a-hole, they can also go,
About it,
you know
right?
what?
Yeah.
But you know, there's something.
Again, it depends on the value of the
How do
relationship.
you
That's
know?
just
My
really what it
point.
comes down to.
Wait.
That's why I'm saying I can place a high premium on a relationship and decide to reconcile.
Mhm.
So even if you come and tell me that there should not be reconciliation but after forgiveness, that's the part that I'm trying to say, that it is a personal thing. That I can decide to reconcile with someone that hurts me.
So what I'm saying is, it's not a must. Again, it depends on the value of the
It
relationship.
is still a personal thing.
For you, maybe
Yeah,
reconciliation
it's
is a
personal thing.
must.
It's my choice to make.
Yes.
Maybe you're
That's
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
But what we-
reconciliation in your heart.
No.
But what we're saying is,
I can decide
If
to
the
build
person
a
does not agree
relationship
with you,
remember that we have
See.
viewers, right? And there are certain people that they are at a cross between what forgiveness is, and most people, for some reason, strongly believe that reconciliation is attached
To
to
forgiveness.
forgiveness. And we have to help them understand that in reality,
It's
my
okay
personal
not
and day
opinion,
your day.
it
It's
is
actually.
okay
okay
not
to
to-
forgive
right.
without carrying on a relationship
And
with
it's
the
that's
person.
why-
okay
I've
to
said
forgive and
this,
still
And
carry
it
on
is
the
also
relationship.
okay.
I've said
What I'm
this,
saying.
I've
It
said
is
this.
also
That's what I'm
okay
saying.
to forgive
And
and
still
carry
carry on
on
the
a
relationship.
relationship.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
if you don't carry on the
Want to,
relationship,
there's no
don't
crime
feel
if
any
you
kind
don't
of
want
way.
to. Exactly.
Okay,
Okay,
Can we
okay.
can we
That's
pause
what
a
I'm saying.
little? Can we pause a little and let me just read what I have here. You know, talking about forgiveness and reconciliation. there's a process to forgiveness as well, because we're just saying, no, I can forgive and forgive. Okay, I'm going to read what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is not about condoning what the person has done. Forgiveness is, you talk to someone about how hurt, sad, and angry you are. Let your emotions out. Then you ask yourself these questions. What do you want this pain to turn to? That pain you're feeling, what do you want it to turn to? Then find the hook. What are you holding on to? What is it that this person actually did that you're holding on to? Then empathize with the person that hurt you. That one got me. Like, I'm in the shoe of that person. Like, okay, I feel like Odun did this to me, and I'm mad at Odun, and we are not going to talk. I'm not talking to her again. But if I now switch it
an
around,
example of what
that
something
empathy,
that happened
right?
between both of us.
Yeah, fine.
That something happened. I said something the wrong way. You took it the way I said it. But you didn't look at the point where I was coming from. Yeah. You didn't look it from the part of where I was coming from.
And you know, my job.
She heard what you said.
No. She knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So and then you didn't see it from the point of where I was coming from. So is that what you're talking about? Empathizing.
Empathizing.
You were actually
Put
supposed
yourself
to see
into-
it from my
switch
own
it
point of view.
around.
I disagree with that because
With
again,
empathizing with the person that hurt you.
yes, because when we're talking about communication, it's your responsibility to get the word out. Not only that, but to make sure that the person you are giving the word to receives it the way you intended it. So that's why
What if the person
that's why I
now
don't agree with
notice-
empathizing with.
What if the person now apologize? Okay, sorry for the use
You
of
might
my choice of
assume.
words.
that one is
Exactly.
different
So
now.
will you still empathize with the person after the person
At that
says sorry
point,
with my choice
yes,
of
at
words?
that point, the empathy
Okay.
can kick in. But now, so talking about
I think, sorry, on that empathy one. Sorry, I was just the way you were saying it. I was thinking about
That
because
empathy
it's
thing
so
got me
dynamic
too.
and there's so many different scenarios
Yeah.
that could happen.
Yeah.
It could be in empathizing in the sense that understanding how the person felt at the time that made them say what they said. Because we could. I just came in. I don't know what you've been going through. I don't know what you're dealing
Exactly.
with, and then I'm all over, and you say something, and I
And I
get hurt
just
about
react.
it. Like maybe if I knew that you've had a crappy day, and you are dealing with this and that and
Or
that,
you
I
just
will
leave all
understand
the
that
night,
the way I came at you, wasn't going to get a good reception, and then you empathize, and you're like, okay.
I want us to see.
Yes.
Sorry, I want us to see this scenario too. Do you know there are some people that can do something to you and they don't even know they did that?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
they don't even care.
Oh,
So
yeah.
some don't even care.
They don't even care. Yeah.
So how are you gonna be able to reconcile with those people? You gotta go to them and tell them.
And they're still giving you
talk
a
about
blank
it.
look when you tell them.
What
that.
are
Like,
you talking about?
what are you talking about?
Okay, so thank you for shedding light on the empathize. So it's a service, forgiveness is a service to self. Free yourself from the poison of hatred. Yeah. So, difference between forgiveness and reconciliation.
If you don't forgive someone, does it mean you hate the person?
That was my question when I said you
Yeah.
wish the person's
Yes.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think you hate
Yes.
yourself.
Oh, ask that question again.
If you don't forgive someone, does it mean you hate the person?
Yes.
Okay, please let me.
Because
curious to know
Oh,
that
yes,
I-
because
I
if
We
you
want to
disagree.
hear from our viewers as well, please. Constance Jones, please go ahead, give your response to that. Does it mean you hate the person you did not forgive, right? Okay.
Because if I don't forgive you, trust me, I don't wish. I wish what you did to me. Like I'm
Come
trying
out,
to pay
come
even
and
forgive
bite you.
Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Okay,
Because-
I don't agree with
oh, yeah,
that.
lit-
I think
yeah.
if I don't forgive you, it's me still holding on to the hurt and the anger.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I
It's you.
hate you. It doesn't mean I
You're
wish
hurting
you.
yourself.
I wish you anything bad or whatever.
You have no
I'm
control over what
Yes.
happens to the other person.
Other person.
You think you do.
I'm just
No, but
holding on.
sorry, I just want to quickly talk about that. So this person's done something to hurt you. You haven't forgiven the person. Now they need help. It's the dead of the night. They need someone to come and help.
In fact,
You
that's
have
why
the-
now I know
you-
that
you
I'm
have the
forgiving,
ability
because I
to
will
say
run
yes
that
or no.
person.
Okay.
And you said no.
And you say no.
That's hate.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's
We-
choice.
Would anyone actually
it's
say
not-
no
it's not-
to that?
No.
I'm just playing.
Okay, but just
here's the
just
reality.
try to make
Advocate,
you
I
right.
don't know what kind.
Don't come and help me begrudgingly either. I mean, it's just the fact. So if like,
No,
if-
you're
Let it come
talking
from your
life
heart.
and death situation. You don't care whether it's begrudgingly or not. You just need help.
Okay, can I ask a question? Can you
I
help
don't think
a
I'll turn to
total
the person
stranger?
I hurt.
Can you help
Oh,
a
yeah.
total stranger?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Okay.
easier to help a total stranger
stranger
than
that
to help
hurt
someone that.
has hurt you.
Yeah,
before.
you're holding
Wow.
something
That's-
against.
Wow.
It's not too. You can't
Okay.
beat it, Brakim. I'm sorry.
No.
This one I'm gonna.
Because
argue
a
now,
total stranger can
tomorrow.
come to you and say, "I need money. I'm hungry," and you be like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll do my charity," and.
Yeah.
But someone that has hurt you, that has swindled you, and has stolen your money
Hate
comes
is a
and says,
strong
"I
word.
need money."
Hate is such a strong word. That's why I'm like,
I don't agree. I'm just
It's not. You must not. See,
extending this
it's
conversation.
It's a lot of
I'll
things.
tell you no without hating
Hate,
you.
hate,
And the
no.
truth of the matter is, we are all just going to give our views based on our own personal opinion or
Opinions,
personal
right.
experience.
Let's just take stock.
Okay,
I
so
want to hear it.
sorry, Justice, before you talk, Constant John says it's not hatred, it's actually a lack of emotional management.
Oh wow.
Yay!
Man, look.
Yay!
I agree with what she's. I agree with what she's saying. But it's a lot of English words to be. It's true because it's hate. If you have not forgiven me, it means you don't wish good for me. It's as
Please,
simple
please
as that.
respond to that.
Because if you have not forgiven
I
me,
agree.
now, I agree. Because when, for example,
You agree with yourself.
when Stephanie made me mad, I was really hot, and Sister Shola tried to talk to me. I wasn't happy. So when I see Fema going at Stephanie hard, I'm happy. So I want the same thing to
But that's
you.
still you. It's still personal.
That's what I'm saying. So
Because
it's
guess
not-
what?
it's hate.
Stephanie has no lick. Whether you hate
hate
or
or
you're
you wish
hurt,
out evil
like
or you
it's
wish-
still on you.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm
What's
saying. So if
hate-
you're not
what's
forgiving,
hatred?
it's hate.
What's hatred? What's hatred?
It's an emotion.
It's in progesterone and
Yeah.
and oxytocin.
I'm just here to learn.
Just
I
to
don't
tell you
know.
that that's a lot of drama.
Grammar, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
What's hatred?
Just say it as it
Fema
is.
is supposed to.
Hatred
Dr.
is like
Fema.
a bigger word for dislike.
Despise
It's
someone. You can't
despise
stand
someone.
someone.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
That's
just
it. It's simple because when we talk about hate,
That's why I
a lot of people
said
feel
hate
like
is
you have to
just
go kill
hate.
somebody to hate the person. No, just you nursing something bad against somebody in your mind.
But you don't hate someone overnight.
Huh?
Like you don't hate someone overnight just the
Abi?
same way you don't love someone overnight. Like you know how long you have to carry something.
When love at first
inside
sight,
you.
love at
Takes
first
a
sight
lot.
can take
I
a minute.
just I googled it.
Love at first sight can
Extreme
take a minute.
dislike
Uh-huh.
or disgust.
That's hate.
That's hatred. And then ill will or resentment that is usually mutual. Is it? Is it?
No, I don't
It
think it
goes
has to be. I don't think it has to be
It goes
mutual.
both ways.
No.
So
Okay, so I'll let me read this again.
Confused and not convinced you.
So there's this point that
That's what I'm
says,
saying. I hopefully we have confused you.
okay, we actually address this. It says
actually to what you're saying.
forgiveness is a choice. Different, no.
Trust
That's enough.
Forgive and hate.
No, the hatred part is saying that hatred will trigger your mind to predict what the actions of the person being hated may do. And as a way to protect you, you wish them to get harm or lead to further
me,
anxiety.
you're with me.
Right.
I don't disagree with you on that. I don't disagree with you on that. I'm just going like forgive and then hate. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Extreme.
again, can you just meet someone and hate the person?
For no
Or
reason.
something has to happen.
Yeah.
In
for you
Nigeria,
to hate
yes.
the
In
person.
Africa, yes. Some
Yeah.
people don't
Even
like the
here,
fact that
Yeah.
you're
even here, the
No,
first
no,
place
no.
I used to work.
Some people
Someone
would
was
not
like,
share that
yeah,
with us.
share that with us. It
Some
was a
people would not
lady
just like
where I
you.
used to work. It
So,
was a lady who
so there's
liked me
nothing
for
to
no
forgive
reason.
there. You just hate the
So
person.
for me,
That's
the hate.
not on you.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think there might be something underlining to it. I think someone to see you and just not like you for no reason is because you probably carry
Triggered
certain
something.
attributes.
Yeah, you
something.
triggered something in the
Triggered
person.
something.
Yes, I think you're just a trigger for them.
No,
Sorry.
it must. No.
Oh my
Not only in Africa. Yeah, in America.
I know.
That was
Yeah,
just a joke. That was just a joke.
There are some people who are naturally bitter.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
I've
They
seen a
will,
lady.
they will be ready to say,
Let's
I don't- yeah, I
exactly.
But
I
you
don't wanna
fit
call-
something. You
Yeah,
fit
it's
a
not-
profile.
Yeah, it's not even
That's
about.
why.
It's not even
Yeah.
about racist or anything. It's a lady I know, and before I gave that story, before I left my job where I used to work, I had
Yeah.
to talk to that lady, and I came to discover she's just bitter She has not. I don't know. She's just. I don't know if she's going through something. She is a bitter person.
Yeah.
She is
She might be
naturally
going
bitter.
through.
And he had to make me. He had to make me until I had to come to the choir and took about 20 minutes just to explain what happened.
Yeah.
Because she's actually a bitter soul. So you meet people like that.
You can't
Sadist.
you can't
So
help-
there's
you can't help
something
people
about
like
you.
that.
Maybe you're too happy for a liking,
That's
or you remind
you're
her
too
of
fine.
someone.
You don't look like
no,
a boyfriend.
it's not even-
Or she likes you.
Oh, yeah,
She's a boy.
Okay.
And the other boy is
It's
not
not,
even
it's,
that
not,
green
it's,
light.
not, it's not even that. Some people are naturally really
Yeah.
bitter. Because I'm like me. I think when I was in high school, at least I could say okay, because this guy I felt like he was like more than me in everything. But really, he didn't do nothing to me. He didn't trigger nothing for me to hate him.
jealousy.
But people things like that happen.
He does.
Okay,
Oh,
Oh yeah,
So at
absolutely.
this age, the slight jealousy of
It's not one road.
They're
Yeah,
all,
the-
and the attributes
the
that he talked
resentment.
about
Yeah.
too.
They are
The
down
attributes,
I-45.
we can take that. Okay, so because we're about to round up, and I'll still read this. It says, when you think reconciliation is attached to forgiveness, it might be a barrier to forgive
Because you don't want to reconcile.
Because you don't want to
Yeah,
reconcile.
yeah, I like that.
So it might be a barrier to forgive. That's the point for us to take home. And forgiveness is a choice. We talked about that. And forgiveness is different for everyone, but reconciliation is similar for everyone because it requires two people. So do I have to forget? You answered that question. We answered ours. We gave our own views. So you don't have to forget. It's impossible. That's somebody's point. Someone said it's impossible to forget. Well, we all agree to that. Okay. So we need to remember in order for us to reconcile. That's that aspect of you not forgetting. You need to remember whatever happened.
Right.
For you to be able to reconcile,
reconcile.
because there will be things to talk about so you can set your boundaries.
Let's talk about this.
Awesome. So we need to
I've forgotten
agree
already.
about where we are going if we are reconciling.
Yeah.
We need to agree. Should I lay my expectations when I seek to reconcile with a person?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Person. Perfect. So when you do what's right, this is a point that I'm like, hey, Jesus, God help us all. So I got this from Joyce Meyer. When you do what's right and you feel all wrong about it, it means you're growing spiritually.
When you do what?
When you do what's right and you feel all wrong about it, you forgive.
I can't even understand that grammar.
When you do what's right is when you forgive somebody and you feel I shouldn't. This person does not deserve it, but you still went ahead to forgive. It's saying that means you're growing spiritually because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's
If you
totally
are still struggling
uncomfortable.
with it, have you truly forgiven the person?
Like if you are still
It's a
struggling.
process.
Yeah.
I think that's the beginning of forgiveness.
You have professed
process, so-
forgiveness,
Yeah.
but have you
You know, in
Truly
process
forgiven the
of
person.
whatever,
Yeah.
any process we talk about, it can be bumpy. Like
Oh yeah,
it's not,
absolutely.
the process is not
Yeah.
easy.
Sometimes it doesn't even end.
It requires pruning.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
take out some skins and all that. So to round up, Starlight, what's your points about forgiveness and reconciliation?
I think we've said it all. Forgiveness
Two
is
words.
for your own sake. So
2 words.
to be happy and have peace of mind, strive to forgive.
Awesome. Try to forgive, be happy, for you to be happy and have peace of mind. Awesome. Okay.
Forgive, forget, don't forget, whatever. So forgive and reconciliation.
Okay.
Just basically everything we've talked about as it relates to forgiving. The only thing I'll throw out there as it relates to reconciliation is, remember the Bible says, can two achieve anything
Except they be
except they
agreed.
agree? So if you are planning on achieving anything with anyone, especially us that we are married, reconciliation is important.
Forgive. It's as simple as that. To forgive somebody for your own sake, for your own peace. I've forgiven you.
That's the camera.
Forget. If you know work for your health, if you cannot forget, or if you cannot reconcile, if it's not healthy for your relationship, move on.
Amen.
As simple as that.
Yep. Well said.
If it's not healthy,
Yeah.
move on.
Move on.
Ah. Grace, so we need grace. Odu?
Okay, for me, forgiveness is personal, reconciliation is personal. If I choose to reconcile with you, it's my choice, it's my decision. If you forgive someone and you feel you can reconcile with the person and not throw the relationship away, then go for it. But like they all said, if it's going to affect, in fact, if your mental health is at stake and you think this thing is going to affect my mental health, it's still you. It's on you. Do you and be you.
It's on you.
Can we do a part 2 on reconciliation? Or we can talk about like
It's like-
domestic violence and all those things that goes with it. Because I mean, it's,
No, I'm even thinking where we can talk about scenarios, like not the dog bites, that's a small one, but it's relatable. It's like human scenario. Like
And
if you
it's
bite me
amazing
and you want me
because
to
if we are
now
going to
come and
apply
pet
it to
you and you
domestic
come back
violence,
to my life.
women are the ones that reconcile the most when it comes to being abused and domestic violence.
is
Yeah,
it because
women
they
think-
think,
Yeah.
because
women
they
think-
think reconciliation goes with forgiveness? I don't know.
I don't think that's what they think. I think most of the time it's because they think there's no option. Most of the time they just tell themselves there's no option.
Yeah, we have to have a part
So
2 of
are you
this.
saying
Yeah.
women are
We
quick
will.
to forgive?
Because-
Oh yeah, we need to
Women
round
are
up.
quick
Because I feel like the
Especially when they have
Men-
the church has
men will not talk.
put people in a bind. I
They-
mean, we
they
can talk about
internalize-
forgive,
They will
forget,
internalize it.
forgive,
But women
reconciliation,
will
and
talk.
divorce.
We not do that.
Right.
We're like,
minus
shut
six.
up.
I mean,
After forgiving you, I wish you well.
chicken.
No, our time has been deducted.
From the next
Oh
one.
goodness.
We'll
Oh,
pay
it's an
forward.
amazing, it's an amazing viewpoint today. Forgiveness, reconciliation. At least I was able to pick at least one thing today. So what did you pick? Please forgive, and if you need to reconcile, it's a choice. Reconcile. Like we all said, it requires two. It's mutual. Forgiveness is a choice, but it's for you to free yourself from the bondage. It's for you. It's for your peace of mind. It's for your freedom. So the main prayer is God would help us know and give us the grace to forgive when we should. Amen. So thank you all for coming. Thank you. And thank you, host Shala.
A round of applause for our host for today.
I have a shout out to Joyce for watching me. I know you watching me right now.
Hey, thank you, Joyce. We know you now.
Oh my goodness.
We know you now.
Okay, thank you for joining, and thank you to our viewers for participating. Thank you, Shayales, Concert Jones. Thank you. Thanks for your contributions. Odu, thank you. Justice, thank you.
Always welcome.
Rocky, thank
Oh,
you.
Joyce.
Salide,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. We appreciate
We work
you.
on this bro and sister.
Whatever, I'm used to bro. See, that's me. Okay, so what else? There's something that came to my mind just now. Anyways, so thanks Glimpse Extra. Thanks, Mr. Joshua. We appreciate it. Let's celebrate Josh behind the camera. He just deducted 10 minutes from our time.
We appreciate Richard. We appreciate
you,
Fema. We appreciate
Stephanie.
Stephanie pressing her computer. We are grateful.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. You could come back and host your thing because
No,
they are
okay,
saying-
for the benefit of our viewers, Lyda is hosting the next episode of Viewpoint.
Awesome.
She's
So
excited.
the table is turning, and from
Yeah.
Friday to be Aki.
Oh, no, I
No, we should let a guy
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
This,
yeah.
this table is square. It's not turning.
Let
The table is turning.
Aki will be the host.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be the host of with my own topic.
And when
Your
Justice
topic.
is the host, no, actually, this is actually Shola's topic. Shola
Yeah,
actually brought this topic.
I joined
So, that's an
Instagram
homework
live and I
for
got
you.
this topic.
Aki.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Yeah. So very.
So gather your material.
Find something controversial.
Yup.
Oh
The
really?
more controversial, the better.
Yup. Don't bring the domestic violence.
Thank
Why?
you everyone.
Because